Spoilers ahead.
Hope you guys enjoyed the Town background. Town basically is like a fighting game almost. Well, not really a fighting game, but shooting game basically. But let's get into it. So I saw Black Adam today. Um, DC made the film. I would say in general, really, really good. Right? Really good, and something very new I've never seen from DC. I mean, Shazam I didn't see, but I think it was pretty good. It must be pretty good because they're making a second one. But my biggest problem with one of the cringiest characters, and not one of the cringiest actors, but one of the cringiest characters that were set up in Black Adam was what is his name? Let me find him. Give me a second. Let me find him. Let me find him. The guy, his name is Bodhi Sabongwai, right? That's not his name in the actual um movie, right? But he is playing the role of the daughter of the girl from the city. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a very hard name, but she's a daughter of the girl from the city, and his name is actually Amon Tomaz, right? That's his character's name. So in the first, I would say 20 to 10 minutes, it is basically DC setting up, whoever directed this movie, so obviously pushing to try to set up the main idea of the story to where it's like I think I guarantee that it was that kid, the guy who played Amon Tomaz doing the narrating over like he's telling the story like this like for the story for Black Adam, like he was a slave, he found the emerald or whatever the stone was. He gave it to the soldier. The father asked for a reward, or whoever the guy was next to him asked for a reward. He stabbed him, threw him off the thing. You know, narrating over that story. And that number one, that voice sounded so cringe, right? That doesn't sound like a harrowing story. Like like you can get like a voice artist like Black Adam. Oh, like no, not this voice, but Black Adam. Um, found the stone. He gave it to this man. He killed his father, and then moved on. But they didn't do that. They made a narrating of a child, where a child would narrate over a story about a hero, or actually a super anti-hero, basically, or whatever it is. But narrating over for him. But my other part that made me cringe very badly, was how straightforward his character was. Like when they were in the scene, and this is one of the beginning parts, where he is going to one of the checkpoints, and the Aussie guy says, "No, you're not allowed to pass it. Say this to you every time. Your vehicle, which is a skateboard, has tires. So that means that you need to go to the back of the line like everybody else and just wait, at the checkpoint." And he obviously says like, um, he's something like, we're sick of your, or not we're sick of it. I don't know the exact line, but he's like, we're sick of your colonialism here. We're sick of you coming up to our land, abusing our resources, murdering us. Not, I don't know if murdering was actually in there, but he said like a bunch of accusations, like, okay, you stole our oil, stole our resources, came in and just took over our land, policed our land, all that stuff. That made me cringe because you're not really developing his character. You're not really developing Amon Tomaz, that's the actual name. You're not really developing his character because you're focusing on stuff that's happening to everybody in general, right? And Intergang, which is the people who occupy the city, aren't um aren't a giant issue to the story because the only importance that the Intergang actually has is that um Black Adam doesn't like them, right? The Justice Society doesn't care about them. Nobody else cares about them except for people who live there, right? So Amon Tomaz, the character in the movie, when he spouted it off to the guy, the checkpoint guy, he got back on his. Oh, the guy chased him. I think actually, he ran away or whatever. But it just made me cringe. And you see later on also, further on the movie, he's like, oh no, yeah, the scene where Black Adam wakes up inside his bedroom. He's like, oh my, this is so straightforward. But he's like, we told stories about you. We heard stories about you. Then he starts telling the story like, Black Adam will come, and he's so very enthusiastic. But it's so blatant to tell it is fake. It's like when you watch a propaganda video, say if it's like for North Korea or something like that, people are like, it's so they're so enthusiastic, but they're so enthusiastic that you can tell it's false or a falsity and a false, you know, mirage of them just playing a character, right? And it's not real. That's what it really felt like in that scene where they was in the bedroom. He's like, "You're our hero. You're what we needed. We're all what we needed." Come on, bro. He's Black Adam. I mean, this guy just killed people and did all those things. What's the logical sense of this kid going, "Oh yes, 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 he killed people. Let's do that. Yay!" No, doesn't make sense. But his character felt cringe because you can never like when if you did what they did in the first 10 to 20 minutes is where they forced the story like right in your face, but didn't want to develop any of the characters. Like none of the characters or none of the actors actually had any roles in that. Not take that back, but none of them had any speaking dialogue that didn't relate to forcing the story like the main central idea. It didn't relate to okay, let's develop our characters a little bit, right? It all focused on them talking about the oppression of the city. I can't pronounce it. I forgot her name already. But the oppression of the city. Talking about that stuff. He was like, yes, we heard it once. Okay, I know what's happening right now. That doesn't mean to be renamed another time. And also the people's resistance. Like if there was a problem with like them obviously colonizing and taking resources, well, why don't we see the people actually resist that? We never see that. We never see that. We never see the kid do anything, which is Amon Tomaz. You never see him do anything, radical to help out anybody, except for he gets up on a rock and he's like, we can fight back. That's when he was fighting against like the Hell's Legion of whoever the king was that got spawned from hell. He's like, we can fight back. This is our city. Let's take part of our city. Well, so smart. I'm surprised how thousands of people can somehow find metal pipes and sticks, and you can find those, out of nowhere, right? So it's pretty amazing. DC, good movie, but do better without straightforwarding and narrowing your story to also ignore character development, right? That's a very important thing. But also, don't make characters that are so straightforward, like that are so obviously faking and falsifying their enthusiasm that if viewer can tell, okay, this actor does not, or not this actor, but this character doesn't really have anything other that they're doing other than focusing on the main goal. Like I'm focusing on typing spacebar on my keyboard. Well, I'm not focusing on typing other keyboards. So I was saying, it's like, okay, look, you have a character. They can't be as straightforward as like, okay, I'm pressing the jump button right now. That's what I'm doing right now. But if I'm pressing the jump button, but my main goal of what I need to do to accomplish this game is to spawn a weapon, but I am focusing on as my main goal. Well, I'm not addressing the other buttons like H, Y, H, all this stuff I need to press. So I basically ignore it. So I'm narrow viewed, right? So that was what his character is, basically a narrow viewed character who has one sole importance. He doesn't eat, he doesn't sleep, he doesn't poop. Obviously, we're not going to see that movie, but he doesn't do any of those things. He just is solely focused on accomplishing the goal and supporting the main idea of the story. And the mother obviously doesn't care about him, right? Oh my gosh, the mother does not care about this kid. The owner's like, okay, here's a crown. Even though the guy literally almost shoots the kid, he almost kills him. She doesn't really care about him. Well, that's basically my opinion on the Amon Tomaz character. I don't like it. I think it's cringe. I cringed a lot seeing his character talk without talking points, but I hope DC can improve and not have characters like that and actually understand and not have straightforward, narrow views straight down the road, ignoring other parts and aspects of a movie or a character for a movie that makes a movie enjoyable. See you guys. Bye-bye and have a great day. And bye-bye!
For my outro, Orange Sour Patch Kid is saying, have a great day.
So I forgot to add this, but I'm gonna add it my little post-credit scene, I guess. Amon's character really is just like the person who's supposed to be saved, right? Black Adam's supposed to save him, obviously. And his dialogue in the movie doesn't really help the story along, except for reinforcing and narrowing and continuing on the road of
explaining the main idea when we already heard the main idea 20 times, right? So he doesn't have an essential use, right? And he tries to motivate Black Adam, but it just fails, and he just ignores him until the very last time. So he repeats the same thing over and over again, trying to get the main idea, to us, the watcher, but it doesn't work. Have a great day, and bye bye. Also, by today I mean yesterday, because I recorded yesterday and I'm uploading it today.